Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight. Man, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do now because we got a lot of great things going on. And one is the Shure SM7B microphone giveaway. Man, you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, write down snare like a snare, slam that bell, and type in as to why you love Shure microphones. It's easy, man. That'll get you in the contest for show. You don't want to miss out. But tonight we're going to be talking about 5150 Eddie Van Halen, American musician, The Memories, Guitar Hero Innovator. Wow. You know, when he passed away, I wanted to do a video right away, but my condolence goes out to his family for sure. Wow, 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 wow. What an awesome musician he was, man. And he will be remembered for many, many, many years. I have a friend who's an artist, and he actually did the painting of that thumbnail that you guys clicked on, and the 5150 thumbnail. He actually did that painting, and I appreciate his friendship as well as his artwork. But tonight we're going to be talking about Van Halen, man. Van Halen. Wow, what an awesome group, Van Halen. I think of all the albums that they put out. I think of the first time that I seen Eddie Van Halen playing in concert. Man, that guy, he just had so much fun playing his guitar, man. You could tell the energy this guy had. David Lee Roth had a lot of energy on the stage, but I got to tell you, man, David was he was the showman as far as, high kicks and jumps and all that stuff. But Eddie Van Halen, man, he could do all that stuff too while he was playing the guitar. He was the first one that actually came out and did all these cool arpeggios with finger tapping and whatnot. And so, man, he was all over that guitar, man. Wow. I just remember seeing his smiling face playing that guitar, man. I fell in love with their music. I remember their first album, Van Halen, in 1978. I remember the first time I heard Van Halen uh, was it was probably in 78, 1978, and I was at the Texas Fair, and I remember hearing Van Halen coming on, and I want to show you the ride. I actually found the ride that that I heard him. I heard Van Halen. It was this right here. I don't know if I can't remember the name, y'all, but it looked like that right there. You see that ride? It actually went around and round and round, and the little bucket things went like this. And the faster you got going around that ride, those little seats that you would sit in, it would just go like rock back and forth, and it'd go round and round and round that thing, man. This is the first time that I heard Van Halen was I was getting on that ride. And I can't remember which song it was, but it was on the first album, and I was a Van Halen lover ever since. Ever since I heard that, and I was at the fair that year, man. Just a kid, but I was just like, "Wow, who is this band? Who is this band?" I didn't even know who it was. I was young, but I didn't know who it was at the time. I just remember I never heard anything like that, like their music, and it was so much fun, man. So much fun. Eddie Van Halen was an innovator too, man. He was the one of the first guys. I think he was the first guy. Took an old Strat, and as you guys all know, Strats have single coil pickups in it. Ripped it all out. I think he named it that guitar, uh, the Frankenstein or something like that guitar, man, because it was just parts put together, right? And he took the single coil pickups out and put a humbucking pickup in that baby. And yeah, man, he was one of the first guys to do that, and he was just trying to find that sound, and I would say he found it. He definitely found the sound of in his time, And I mean, there's so much to talk about Eddie Van Halen and Van Halen, the group. It's just, I don't even think I have enough time to talk about or praise how much he's done in the music industry. But I was just trying to reminisce on some of the albums that those guys had and some of the things they did. But I remember Van Halen came out in 1978, which is a great, great album. Check out Van Halen 1978. Check out all those old songs on there. And I want to say it was on that album, one of the songs in there that they actually used compression uh, to pump with the tempo of the song, and it's got this swelling effect going on one of the tunes. Just out, first time I ever heard anything like that, man, was on Van Halen. Van Halen 1. And then they came out with Van Halen 2, which was 1979. Came right off the bat, came out with another album, which was another great album. And then they had Women and Children, that was 1980. Okay. That was a good album. That wasn't to me as one of my favorite albums. But then they came out with Fair Warning, and that was a very, very different sounding album. That was in 1981, was Fair Warning. 1982, they came out with Diver Down, okay, which was another great album that I really enjoyed, like listening to. And then they came out with 1984. And man, what an awesome album. And I believe that album had Jump on it, the song Jump, Go Ahead Jump. But I really, really enjoyed that album. And actually, my friend who did the painting on the thumbnail that you guys are looking at, him and I were best friends at that time. And we were running around. We did everything together, man. We actually were in a band together. He was the bass player in the band. And really, really talented guy. Really, really talented guy. And I just remember on the strips, cruising the strips with him. And I want to say he was probably one of the first guys that had at least 20 something speakers in his truck. And amplifiers and crossovers on every one of them, man. And I mean, he had so many speakers in that truck, you could not put another 6x9 or 6.5 or tweeters or anything in it, man. You couldn't fit another speaker or amplifier underneath the seat of that truck. And we'd cruise up and down, man, and listen to Van Halen, going to the beach and just, you know, 1984, man, 1984. We'd listen to all those Van Halen songs, 1984, and just would just rock out and turn everybody. He said that's when you had, you know, 6x9s. Wasn't all that heavy, low bass stuff like today, you know. But if you had several amps on a couple 6x9s in a truck, you were hitting hard, man. All that mid range, you know. And that was the type of music to play on those 6x9s back in the day was Van Halen, Boghat, all those cool old albums like that. Ozzy, you know, those were tunes that you could really, really hear all that mid range, and it wasn't all that low end buzz, 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 buzz on the back of the trunks, you know. It was a lot of mid range stuff. But anyway, I did want to mention something else here while I got you guys' attention. And that was the different songs that I was trying to reminisce on. And listen to some of the name of these songs, man. Ain't Talking About Love. Wow, what a cool name. And The Cradle Will Rock. And the cradle does rock, man, with a lot of these musicians, right? You know, they end up getting married and having a few kids, man, and that cradle rocks, right? Atomic Punk. What a name. Atomic Punk. That just sounds. I wonder what they were thinking when they wrote that song. Wrote that song, Atomic Punk. Big Bad Bill, Bottoms Up. Boy, I remember that song, Bottoms Up. I really like that one a lot. Could This Be Magic? Dance the Night Away. Dancing in the Street. Everybody remembers that song, Dancing in the Street. Dirty Movies, Eruption. Who don't remember Eruption when Eddie Van Halen came out on stage? Now, keep in mind, I've seen him three times. Back in the day, Eddie Van Halen. Um, but I never seen him with Sammy Hagar. I've seen him three times with David Lee Roth, but I never seen him. Now, keep in mind, I loved their music when Sammy Hagar came along. Continued to be a Van Halen fan because I loved Eddie Van Halen so much. But I never seen him when he was with Sammy Hagar when they teamed up. He was the Red Rocker back whenever I was listening to Van Halen. And the song I remember most about Sammy Hagar was "I Can't Drive 55." You guys probably all remember that song. They still play it today. Uh, but uh, but I was a big fan of Van Halen, so it didn't matter who Eddie teamed up with. I was going to love that band anyway. But when Eddie Van Halen came out on stage and started playing Eruption, and I remember him coming out, man, he'd be playing this guitar Eruption. And he had the cigarette, and he came out and he sat on the front of the stage. He sat down there, right down there by all of us, man, and we were like 15, 20 feet from him. And Eddie Van Halen just came out there with that smile he always had on his face, man, like he was just in heaven playing his guitar, man. Loved watching this guy play. And man, it was just almost just in the awe moment. When you have those awe moments and you're in front of someone you think's a guitar god. And that was one of those awe moments. I seen him start playing Eruption. He took a cigarette out and he put it up there on the front of his headstock between the strings. And he started just playing Eruption, doing all this finger tapping stuff, man. I couldn't believe. I mean, and everybody there really couldn't believe what they were seeing. This guy, and some were seeing it for the first time in their life. But that was my first time to ever see anybody do finger tapping like that, man. And Eddie just, wow, 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 wow. But Eruption, man, that was just such a cool song. And then Everybody Wants Some. Remember that song? Everybody Wants Some. How about you? You know? Um, Man, that song just sticks to my head, man. Feel Your Love Tonight, Fools, The Full Bug, Growth, Happy Trails. Happy Trails. Happy Trails. That was one that I'm sure David had a big influence on singing that song. Hang 'em High, Hear About It Later, Hot for Teacher. Oh my gosh. When Hot for Teacher came out, I remember the video to that on MTV. You guys remember MTV? That was back whenever it was really a music TV video show to watch, man. MTV. I remember watching it when I seen Billy Idol, White Wedding. But when Hot for Teacher came out and they had the video, and Eddie Van Halen and everybody's in the classroom, and the teacher walks in, and yeah, Hot for Teacher, man. Uh, I just remember seeing that video for the first time and just like, wow, how could you not like Eddie Van Halen, man? And there's tunes. He was just such a great guitar player, man. And then Ice Cream Man. Do y'all remember that one? They played that one at the fair a lot too. Whenever I was a kid, Ice Cream Man, Stop Me When I'm Passing By. You know my flavors guaranteed to satisfy. Yeah, let's find some Ice Cream Man and put that on, man. That was a really cool song and a very good mix, by the way. I love the way they mix that song out, man. Just a great mix. They had some of the best engineers in the world working on their stuff, and just really, really good stuff. But Jamie's Crying. Do you guys remember Jamie's Crying? Jamie's Crying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember Jamie's Crying. Boy, we cranked that song up probably to about 165 decibels in that truck, man. I'm surprised, seriously, that driving around when we were kids, listening to all those speakers in that truck with all those amplifiers, that I seriously didn't have ear damage after that, man. But Jump. Everybody remembers Jump. Go ahead, Jump. Uh, and it seems like I went to that concert 1984. Go ahead, Jump. And Eddie Van Halen was swinging across the stage. They had him. strapped in. I don't know if it was like parachute gear or whatever. They had him strapped in with like a harness around his waist. And I just remember him swinging off way up off one of those Ron towers that they had up around the stage, um, swinging off Ron on a big rope, and he's just dangling through the air, ripping his guitar up. Man, I mean, how cool is that? They really put on a show, man. Van Halen put on a show, man. I love that group, man. But Jump, Light Up the Sky, Little Dreamer. Do y'all remember Little Dreamer? Man, that was a good song, Little Dreamer. Yeah. Little Guitars, Loss of Control, Mean Street. That one I really liked Mean Street. That was on the Fair Warning album, I believe. But Mean Street was just a killer song. You guys might have to Google that or whatever, or get on YouTube, see if you can find that one. On Fire, One Foot Out the Door, and Out of Love Again. These guys were just great, man. They had so many great albums and did so much to contribute to the music, man. And then Eddie, man, I want to say it seems like 1972, or I'm not sure if that's when they had their first put their band together or whatever, but or one of their first bands they put together. But it seems like Eddie Van Halen was actually a keyboardist before he was a guitar player. And I want to say his brother Alex, it was him and Alex that formed the band. But I want to say Alex actually bought a guitar and was playing the guitar. And then Eddie bought a set of drums. Okay. So keep in mind they're brothers, right? And Eddie bought a set of drums. Well, Eddie brings the drums home, and then Alex gets off the drums and gets off the guitar and starts playing the drums. Well, Eddie's like, okay, if you're going to play the drums and you're obviously better at me than drums, then I'm going to play the guitar. So that's how that actually happened, man. And then they just swapped instruments, and Eddie started playing the guitar, and Alex ended up on the drums, man. I think that's so cool. But actually, um, Eddie played the keyboards before all of that, and actually won a couple of awards at concerts at the school or wherever for being having playing the best. So I want to say whenever he wanted to start introducing some of the keyboard music to the band and start playing keyboards, I'm not sure, 100% sure that David, seemed like I read an article at one time or something that David wasn't real happy with him wanting to introduce the keyboards in the band because it was a guitar band and he wanted to keep it a guitar band. And so I'm not sure David was real happy when Eddie said, "Hey, look, I want to bring in the keyboards and start, playing keyboards in the song." And then, they came out with Jump, right? And Eddie's playing keyboards on that, man. And look how far that song went. So my thoughts are, if you love something, go ahead and do it, and don't let anyone persuade you differently from doing what you feel like you need to do. Look how far Jump went. Look how far, and then all the other songs that took off after that. Eddie playing the keyboards. Eddie was, he was an innovator. He was a songwriter, musician to the T, and really inspired many, many, many kids of all ages to start playing guitar and to learn finger tapping and to play on guitars with just with a humbucker pickup and a Strat like body. And yeah, man, he was one of those guys that would just I can see him right now just thumbing through all his stuff and tearing stuff apart and putting stuff together just to create something and be creative in more ways than just music, but on his instruments. And always looking for a new tone, a new sound, to be creative, and what can I do to actually make the music better and different that nobody else is doing, man. And I think that's another reason why I love Van Halen so much, man. They went because when they came out, nobody ever heard anything like that. Nobody ever heard anything like what Eddie was doing on the guitar. And man, wow. I had to see them. I've seen them 3 times in concert, man. And every time that I've seen them, they sounded just as good as the album, if not better, man. And so yeah, I wanted to get on here tonight, man. I wanted to talk about Van Halen and send out my condolences to the family and everybody because he was truly someone who I admired as a kid and loved all his music, everything that they ever did, everything Van Halen ever did or put out. I really, really loved their stuff, and I actually liked too when the Red Rocker Sammy Hagar joined. And there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, I like David stuff, oh better Van Halen," or "Oh, I like," there was all this war thing going on between people, but I loved everything they did. I loved everything David did with the band, and I loved everything that Sammy did with the band. They were just it was great to see those guys perform, and it was great to see um Eddie involve his brother, and Alex and Eddie played together. I mean, how cool is that to be able to do what you love and do it with your brother and enjoy all the fame together? I mean, I think they came over here with. Seems like I read an article. They came over here with $100 and a piano and didn't speak the language and everything else, and ended up uh, going as far as they did. Wow, talk about the American dream. I mean, to come over here with nothing and not speak the language and very little money and a piano. Come on. So yeah, I mean, wow. But yeah, man, that's really a cool thought. And to think that, he did all that with his brother. And then when he had his son, Wolfgang, he brought his son in the picture, and his son was able to play bass guitar with him on stage. So not only did he have his brother playing with him on stage in front of thousands of people, but he had his son on stage playing with him in front of thousands of people. I mean, if that ain't cool, what is, man? I don't know. I mean, I just think that's really, really cool to be able to teach your son and to watch him grow up and then be on stage actually with you playing. What a neat, beautiful thing, man. Talk about a story, right? A story to remember, and that I know I always, um, keep the songs he wrote and keep him close to my heart. And my prayers go out to the family and anyone who knew him or was acquainted with him. And but yeah, all his music was really, really good. They did some great stuff throughout time, and I think now Sammy's doing his own thing, in Kabul, and but I'm not sure what all he's doing or if he's putting out any new music or anything here lately. But it's just a really neat thing to see where the music has gone and how far they took it. But now we're in a whole different era how music is played, and it seems like we don't hear guitar as much as we used to. We don't hear long guitar solos as much as we used to, and so now everything's more about beat and and rhythm, and so it's not a guitar world anymore like it used to be. In the '80s and '90s. It's just that's just not what you hear on records these days. How much guitar do you hear in the song? You know what I mean? You don't hear guitar, man. You hear drums and keyboards and rhythmic changes and whatnot. But thanks so much, Eddie Van Halen, for all you did to the music industry. Many, many, many folks, my friends, all my friends loved you, man, and we still do. And all our condolences go out to you and your family. Thanks so much what you did to for the music industry, and you'll be in our memories for a lifetime and hopefully for generations to come. We appreciate all you guys joining in, man. Thanks so much for joining in. Tomorrow night, we're going to have something good for you. It's probably going to be around 7 o'clock Texas time that we're going to be coming in. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do now. If you haven't, slam that bell. Please do now. Type down there as to why you love a Shure microphone. It can be any of your favorite Shure microphones or any Shure microphone. The 57, the 58, the SM81, the Beta, the SM7B. It doesn't matter. They're all good microphones. Type in down there as to why you love a Shure microphone, and that will get you in the drawing. And we're going to be doing a drawing next week, man, on another one of these puppies, and you don't want to miss out, man. So leave your comment down there below why you like a Shure microphone, and we can put you in the hat, man. And we appreciate all you guys and all you guys' comments. Also, be sure to share the video. If you haven't shared any of my videos, be sure to share my video because this is the coolest channel in the world, man. And without you guys, I couldn't do it. And I appreciate all of you. I do, man. So hit that subscribe, join the channel, and we will see you again.